Welcome back to Bristol Koi. Today's the day, fiberglassing. Spin you around. It's my pond. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Fish are all doing great. Weather, spot on. It's been raining for about 2 weeks. My neighbour's cutting his hedge, so if his hedge cutter starts up, I'll get back to you. But yeah, I think I'm all set up. Thanks for the advice on the last video. I had a few good comments, so I've rounded all these edges off because supposedly fiberglass doesn't like sharp corners. It's all dry in here. I've sanded that with 120 grit sandpaper. Give it a real good scratching up, if you can see that on that. Hoovered it all out, hoovered all this top layer. I think we're set up, I think we're good to go. Reminder, this is my first time. I've never seen anybody doing it before either, so only what I've found on YouTube and forums. I've got the 450 gram matting. I'm hoping to do 2 layers of that, and I've got the, I think this is 25 to 30 gram tissue, and I've cut it already. I've measured from 100 mil across that block, enough to come down and in about 100 mil. That's what those are for, and those are for, and there's some other cuts which are for like below the window. I've got all my materials from Swindon Composite supplies. I found them on eBay, great price. I had loads of questions and they were happy to answer all of them really. I spoke to them on the phone a couple of times. Highly right credit where it's due. I've got the resin, the hardener, the catalyst, 2 bottles of that. I've got the flow coat, I've got a paddle, roller, mixer, little syringes to measure the catalyst accurately, box gloves. What else we got? Some rollers. I did some googling, they've got to be polyester rollers, so these are polyester rollers. Paintbrush to get in the corners, measuring jug, wallpaper and scissors just in case I need to do any cuts, and some buckets with, I've marked out 5 litre mark because I'm going to mix 5 litres up at a time. Yeah, I think I'm ready to go. It's a good temperature out here. I've just measured the temperature, it's 15 degrees, which is pretty perfect. 18 now, warming up. 9 o'clock in the morning. That's not bad, is it? It hasn't stopped raining for 2 weeks. Twice I've come out and the black cover's been blown off and it's been full of water. I've hoovered it out twice, but fortunately it's all dried up now. Yeah, I think we're all ready to go. Let's get on with it. I'm going to hide all the dog's balls because he'll drop them in there. Kids are occupied. Fed them, watered them. Alright, here's all the fish. Right, I'll get back to you. times 2, 2%. Divide by 100, 100 mil. Take the protective sleeve off there. watching. As I said, that was my first time, so any tips or any questions, stick them in the comments below. It wasn't too hard. I did struggle a bit with the tissue, it's so thin. If you are going to go for the tissue, or, you know, you're going to do it DIY style. I'm actually really happy. I didn't use the tissue in the end, but I'm actually really happy with the finish. It's dead smooth. I think the tissue is if you want a super, almost shiny surface, you know. But if you are going to use it, I cut it in metre wide strips of full length. I recommend cutting smaller squares or thinner strips. You kind of roll it and it creased, and then once it's creased, you can't get the creases out without it just tearing. It's so thin. Any other tips? I bought 2 rollers. I ended up finding another 3 in the garage because every time I mixed up 5 litres and used it, by the time I'd mixed up another 5 litre batch, the roller was like a hammer. It was just, the resin had gone rock hard on the roller, so it was no good for rolling the next batch of 5 litres on. I used nearly all the buckets. I did 5 mixes, I think, and I used the 5 buckets. They're only like 99p from B&Q, so loads of buckets, loads of rollers. And the first 5 litres I mixed was at 2%. When I was in direct sunlight, it was 18 degrees, and I laid the first 3 sheets, and then I went back to use the pan roller, and it had gone hard already. So from that point on, I started mixing it at 1.5%. That gave me a bit more time to lay 3 or 4 sheets and use the paddle roller. Corners, I was pretty tough with the corners. I thought I was going to have to do like intricate cuts to get the mat into fold, but it all kind of folds into the corner on its own nicely and beds in with itself when you put the resin on it. Yeah, preparation is definitely key. You don't want to be cutting any of that matting once you've started. Have as much of it ready as you can. I think it'll be easier to do a bigger pond actually, because I'm confined in that small space. One thing that you really need to do is check what you've done 5 minutes ago, because like if you get a bubble come up and you don't spot it within a minute or 2, that resin can go off, and then you've got a bubble or something to sand at a later. Kind of as you're going along, you need to be checking what you've done and maybe going back and rolling a bit, because you really haven't got long, 15-20 minutes, and it's rock hard for that. Yeah, as I said, it's the first time. It wasn't really a tutorial video, it was more of a watch me have a go. Yeah, if you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. Catch you in the next one.